I believe at that moment Puffy was terrified for his life. I think that he was afraid because all of the things that had gone out and about that party, they were singling him out, and I don't think that he thought he was going to survive it.
Albie sure has set the internet ablaze after spilling shocking details about Angie Stone's death and her alleged ties to a secretive white cult. Angie wasn't just a legendary figure in the music industry. She was also one of the first to recognize Diddy's dark ways and even attempted to help him break free from them. However, he eventually reverted to his old self. Her tragic passing came just days after she was preparing to sue Universal Music Group for allegedly stealing millions from her over the years. While no one is directly pointing fingers at Universal, the circumstances surrounding her death seem far too suspicious to ignore. Albie sure isn't keeping quiet either. He's exposing everything, including leaked text messages that reveal Angie was uncovering some major industry secrets. Angie tragically lost her life in a devastating car crash while returning from a show. Initially, her car flipped multiple times, leaving her and her crew severely injured. Reports suggest that she was still alive and struggling to free herself from the wreckage when, out of nowhere, a truck struck her overturned vehicle, delivering the fatal blow. Strangely, she was the only one who didn't survive the ordeal. Now, let's break this down. What are the chances that someone gets into not one but two freak accidents within minutes? And is the sole fatality? The events leading up to her death raise even more questions. Before the crash, Angie was gearing up for a legal battle against Universal Music Group after discovering they had allegedly been pocketing her royalties for decades. And we're not talking about small change. She claimed she was owed at least $1 million. Angie believed that if she had received her rightful earnings, she could have retired 20 years ago. Instead, she was forced to keep working, enduring grueling schedules just to make ends meet. Then, on the day she died, she was working. She had just finished a show and was on the road at 4 a.m., trying to get home. Had she received the money she was owed, she wouldn't have had to push herself like that. Considering everything that happened, it's hard not to question whether her death was truly an accident or something far more sinister.
A lot of my publishing, a lot of my royalties, my mechanicals, they have all pretty much been stolen. Where are my royalties going? Because I'm not getting this. Come to find out, Universal Music has been receiving all my royalties, all my mechanicals. But they have taken all the monies that were due to me, people that were working on my behalf, never even registered the songs, all the songs that I've done. I'm only coming to find out they were not properly registered by the companies that I signed over to. So I'm truly a walking testimony that God has carried me all this time. Because if you only knew how much money they have taken from me, how much they have stolen from me, monies that I'm supposed to be, I should have been able to retire 20 years ago with the money I've made, supposedly. But there are key people that have been driving the ships. And what they've been doing is improperly representing me, improperly stealing from me, taking things in their own hand, changing and switching lanes because they knew I didn't know that part. The legal side, when you hire attorneys and managers and agents, they're supposed to make sure the gray area over there that they're in the driver's seat for, they're supposed to make sure you're taken care of. So I'm just here to let you know, one way or the other, Universal Music, you're going to have to give up my coins. I mean, when you sit back and think Bruno Mars, Dr. Dre, when you think about all these people that have sampled music, if they're filthy rich on it, what's our problem? And that's why I'm telling on Universal and all the people that y'all work with me, y'all know who you are. You've been spotted. You've been seen. Your worth is useless to me now because I've seen the data. That's all I'm going to say. I got a team of people, a diesel crew, that's really trying to help me navigate things. And if I never get it, at least you heard it from me, because I don't know what they might do to keep from paying me all the money they owe me.
And I know y'all heard that last part. She said it herself. Angie made that video because she feared what they might do to avoid paying her what she was owed. Then, just days later, she dies in a freak accident at 4 a.m., yet everyone else in the crash somehow survives. Something isn't adding up, and it's not just Diddy's wild parties. But it doesn't stop there. Right before her death, Angie revealed she was under a serious spiritual attack, which led to a life-threatening blood infection. This infection landed her in the hospital, where she was literally fighting for her life. If it weren't for the prayers and strength she held onto, she might not have even made it as far as she did. The timing of it all is way too suspicious. First, she calls out the industry, then she gets sick, and just when she's ready to take legal action, she's gone.
I knew it was an attack. I knew it was a spiritual attack on me. However, I was treated, and God healed me. He cleared up. They cleared up the blood infection.
At the time, Angie didn't share many details about her infection, but after her passing, Albie sure made a post revealing what really happened. According to him, that infection wasn't just a random health scare. It was the industry's first attempt to get rid of her. While some people appreciated Al for exposing the truth, many weren't happy with the way he did it. The backlash wasn't about him calling out the industry. It was about how he handled Angie's private messages. What was meant to be a tribute quickly turned controversial when he included a transcript of their last texts. These messages contained deeply personal information that many felt the public had no business knowing. I can't really gather my own thoughts at the moment to say anything close to describing the profoundly brave and amazing woman my sister, star Angie Stone, was. So I'll just let Angie say it to you all in our last text to each other. But then, instead of stopping there, he went on to share their conversation. That's when people started dragging him. "Hey hun, it's Angie Stone reaching out. Please give me a call, ASAP. A lot of stuff happening regarding this transplant situation. I have 2 possible donors, but they are discriminating against Black people. Now, it's been 5 years. Hey there, Queen. Great to hear from you. I'm on a plane right now, but I'll touch base with you as soon as I land." And the next message, Angie brought up Diddy, expressing relief that he was finally being exposed after years of people ignoring the warnings. She also mentioned Kim Porter and how she believed Kim was helping bring Diddy's truth to light from the other side. Angie's message read, "Call me when you get a moment to chop it up with me. I've been praying hard for you ever since all this foolishness you've been saying for years is finally being exposed. He's going down. I didn't realize just how much craziness you actually went through, and it's so unfortunate. Now, I'm praying for you and supporting everything you've got going on. I pray that your son, Quincy, and you reconnect, and that he walks away from that whole ratchet situation. The whole world knows he deserves to be with his biological father. At this time, I know Kim is resting in paradise. She was born just a couple of days before me, so I know her spirit well. I know how she rolled, and I can assure you she's been the one assisting you from the other side. Be blessed, and know that I'm here for you no matter what. Peace and blessings, King." What's wild is that Angie bringing up Diddy wasn't random. Just before her death, she also spilled major tea about him, revealing that he had come running to her for prayers. He was terrified that his life was in danger after the scandal involving Shine and Jade at Low. Everything about this situation raises eyebrows. From the suspicious infection that nearly took Angie out before her time to her fatal accident just days after she prepared to sue Universal, it's hard not to wonder if this was really just coincidence or something much darker.
I just happened to be in the studio this particular day. And because he never ever really bothered with me or spoke to me in that fashion, I wasn't a part of Uptown. I was just in MCA. On this particular day, I was coming off the elevator. I will never forget it as long as I live. And Puffy came to me, first time, speaking to me as a decent human being. And he said, "Hey, Miss Stone." I said, "Yeah, what's up?" He said, "How are you?" I said, "I'm fine. I'm shocked you speaking to me." he said, "Miss Stone, would you please pray with me?" I said, "Well, of course." When he asked me to pray with him, I believe at that moment Puffy was terrified for his life. I think that he was afraid because all of the things that had gone out and about that party, they were singling him out, and I don't think that he thought he was going to survive it. And I was just happy that whenever he didn't speak to me, I knew he couldn't see me. But on this day, he saw the God in me, which was so not about me, but it was so about the spirit that I carried.
Angie was deeply connected to many things, and some believe she was taken out because she knew too much. In fact, she was even linked to the rumored occultic sorority group, Zeta by Beta. Most people had no idea she was affiliated with them until they publicly acknowledged her after her death. While the reason behind her joining remains unclear, some speculate that she did it as a form of protection against the multiple threats she faced from the industry. Unfortunately, if the rumors are true, even that wasn't enough to save her. As expected, people had plenty to say about the eerie circumstances surrounding her passing. One person commented, asterisk, Angie Stone's passing is literally Left Eye from TLC all over again. A tragic car crash, a flipped vehicle, and the only fatality. Just eerie, tragic, and unfortunate. Another person shared their thoughts on Diddy's involvement, saying, asterisk, Puff, being a narcissist, knew she was the only one who would have empathy for him because of her spirituality. Like she said, he never paid her any attention before. He knew she had a beautiful gift of singing, but he wasn't going to tell her. He was just being an energy vampire, as usual. She comes off as an earth angel, attracting a lot of narcs. Now, I want to hear from you. What do you think about Angie's sudden death? Do you believe some people in the industry had a hand in it? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to click here to check out this other messy video.